My name is Emily, 34, ER doctor, 8 years at U Chicago, worked up from intern to attending. Dr. Richard was my mentor. I trusted him, respected him.
It was just another night shift. A patient came in with textbook pneumonia. I was about to write the prescription when Dr. Richard showed up. He almost never worked nights.
Emily, I want a full viral panel on this patient.
His symptoms are classic. No need.
Do it.
I did it. Blood draw, throat swab, sputum culture. Over $1,000. Results came back. Plain old strep pneumonia. Penicillin would fix it. Change the report to virus. Suspected novel pathogen. We need the research funding.
His hand was cold. Not cold to the touch. Cold in his heart. I changed the report. But I kept the original data. This wasn't one lie. This was a system. I decided to dig deeper.
The next day, I pulled 3 years of medical records, all 47 unknown virus cases under Dr. Richard. I stayed late every night, cross-checking original labs against altered reports.
Every single case was altered. Pneumonia, colds, even allergies. A young girl was quarantined 14 days, missed finals, had to drop out. She just had allergies.
I compiled all 47 cases into a spreadsheet. Every row was a lie. Every row was a patient's pain and money. I took it to the hospital ethics committee.
I handed him the spreadsheet. He flipped through a few pages.
Emily, do you have proof? This will require further investigation.
3 months later, the investigation closed. No evidence of misconduct. Howard had co-authored studies with Richard. They were in this together.
I didn't give up. I went to the FBI. The FBI office was downtown, all glass and steel, very modern. The security guard had me fill out a visitor form, then I waited for 40 minutes. A female agent in a dark suit came out to meet me. Her name was Miranda, ponytail, sharp eyes, she talked fast.
Dr. Foster, you said you have evidence of medical fraud?
Yes. I handed her the spreadsheet and the original data. She flipped through it for a few minutes. Are you sure this isn't just an internal management issue? 47 cases, 3 years, over $1 million in fraudulent billing, plus millions in federal grants. This is a crime.
Why did you come to us?
Because the ethics committee is covering for him.
We'll open a case. You need to watch your back. If Richard finds out, you could be in danger.
I'm not afraid.
You're a doctor, not an agent. Protect yourself.
When I walked out, the sun was bright, but my palms were soaked. For the next month, I went to work like normal, saw patients, did research. Richard didn't know I'd reported him, but he sensed something.
Emily, what have you been working on lately?
Seeing patients, Dr. Richard.
Good.
I felt his gaze on my back, sharp like needles, suspicion, wariness, unease. Richard found out I reported him. That afternoon, he called me into his office. He sat in his leather chair, spinning a pen around and around.
Emily, you're a good doctor, but you're so naive.
You lied to patients.
That was for research, for something bigger.
That was for money, for funding, bonuses, your reputation. Your $2 million a year project is built on fake data. He smiled. No warmth, only condescending pity.
You're suspended. Go home and reflect.
I'm not leaving.
Then wait to be fired.
You'll regret this.
No, I won't.
The door slammed behind me, loud enough for the whole hallway to hear. The next day, I was demoted to a community clinic. Not fired, demoted. He didn't want to make a scene.
When I packed up, colleagues watched, but nobody said a word. They were afraid. I folded my white coat, put an stethoscope around my neck. The box was so light, 8 years of memories, and it didn't even fill a box. The elevator doors opened. I walked out, didn't look back. A beam of light came through the window, falling right on my cardboard box. I walked into that light. Then I walked out of the building.
Chicago's South Side, Hope Clinic. This was my new workplace. The clinic was on the ground floor of an old building, windows facing an alley covered in graffiti. A worn-out sign hung by the door, white background, black letters, paint peeling off. Plastic chairs in the waiting room. Faded health posters on the walls. No ER, no ICU, no CT, no MRI, not even a decent ultrasound and drug. My job, cabinet, treating colds, taking blood pressure, writing chronic disease prescriptions.
My first patient was an old woman, 76. Hypertension, diabetes, arthritis. She rolled up her sleeve. Her arm was covered in bruises.
Doctor, I fell.
Where did you fall?
The bathroom. The floor was slippery.
I examined her. No fractures, just bruises. I prescribed ointment and told her to be careful. She left, walking very slowly, one hand against the wall. I watched her go and thought if I were still at the big hospital, I never would have even seen her. Here, I was all she had. I started getting used to the slower pace. 12 patients a day, half an hour with each. Not because they were sick, because they needed time to talk. They'd say my son visits, my partner passed. I live alone and I'm scared. I'd listen. They didn't need medicine. They needed someone to hear them. That night, I closed up and stood in the empty waiting room. The fluorescent lights hummed, the same sound as the records room. But no lies here, just plastic chairs and that faded poster. I locked the door and walked out into the night. The streetlights were sparse. My shadow stretched long behind me. And suddenly it hit me. This was my real battlefield. 3 a.m. My phone woke me up. It was an old woman, frantic.
Eileen, Dr. Emily, I can't breathe.
Where are you?
Home, the address you came to last time.
I threw on some clothes and drove to her place. She was on the couch, face turning purple, gasping for air, asthma attack. I gave her an inhaler. 10 minutes later, she could breathe again.
Thank you, Dr. Emily.
Next time, call 911. Don't wait for me.
They're too slow. You're the fastest.
I laughed. That was the first time she complimented me. Her name was Eileen, 72, lived alone, daughter in California, came back once a year. For everything, she called me, even nightmares. Later, she moved to a nursing home. I visited her once a week.
Eileen, you're closer to me than my own daughter.
Emily, then think of me as your daughter. I sat in my car and thought about Richard. He was like a father. Now I have another mother. The world works in strange ways.
Dr. Richard still hadn't been investigated. The FBI case was open but moving at a crawl. His research continued. He was still siphoning grant money. My evidence wasn't enough. I needed more. I reached out to old colleagues, sent dozens of texts. Only 3 replied. I don't know. Don't drag me in. You're insane. Nobody dared to stand up. Richard controlled their careers.
Only one person would help. Nurse Maggie, 15 years in the ER. She'd seen everything.
Emily, I have evidence too.
She gave me a recording of Richard at a department meeting.
If lab reports don't match expectations, adjust them. Don't tell patients or higher-ups. We have autonomy.
I listened 3 times. It made me sick.
Narrator, I turned over all evidence to the FBI. Miranda, this time, it's enough. Richard was suspended, his office sealed, assistants questioned, research frozen.
The news broke. I felt no joy. Those patients had already been hurt, misdiagnosed, quarantined, given wrong meds. Nobody could give that back. At least the kids are still laughing.
The investigation dragged on for 6 months. The FBI got bank records. Richard's lab billed insurance for over $1 million in fraudulent charges. He funneled the money into personal accounts, bought a luxury house, sports car, stocks. His lawyer tried to cut a deal. Pay restitution, no admission of guilt.
No. I want him to admit what he did. Then you'll need to testify in court. I'll be there.
In court, I took the stand. Richard sat at the defendant's table. His look wasn't hatred, it was emptiness.
Dr. Foster, aren't you acting out of resentment?
His lawyer grilled me, trying to paint my evidence as unreliable.
No, I'm angry that patients were lied to.
The judge asked Richard if he had anything to say. He stood up, silent for a long moment.
I plead guilty.
He was sentenced to 4 years, $1 million fine.
Emily, it's me. I just heard the news. We won. Finally, we can move on.
The air smelled like hot dog stands and car exhaust and freedom.
Beautiful day, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. She had no idea who I was or what I'd just done. That was for the best. Richard went to prison. The hospital restored its reputation and retracted his papers. But nobody thanked me. I was the whistleblower. Colleagues avoided me. Supervisors gave me the cold shoulder. I understood why. Still stung a little. But I didn't go back. I stayed at the community clinic. Because this place needed me. My patients would ask, Dr. Emily, are you going to leave? No.
You had it good at the big hospital. Why'd you come here?
Because there are people here who need me. She didn't quite get it, but she believed me. I started to actually enjoy this life.
Jenny, fresh out of med school, came looking for a job.
Dr. Emily, I want to learn from you.
The pay is terrible and the workload is heavy.
I'm not afraid of that.
I took her on.
That evening, I took Jenny out for pizza. Emily, do you ever regret reporting Richard?
I have, when my colleagues iced me out, when I sat eating dinner by myself, but if I hadn't reported him, I would have regretted it even more. She nodded. She didn't fully understand yet, but she was listening.
I started a family doctor sign-up program on my own. I gave every patient a card with my personal cell number. Call me if you feel sick at night. I'll get there as fast as I can.
Aren't you afraid of being bothered?
I am, but I'm more afraid of something happening to you.
The first to sign up was Eileen, then George, the stroke survivor, then Maria, the diabetic living alone. A month later, over 40 patients. 3 months later, over 100.
Every week I made house calls to the elderly who couldn't get around. They started calling me the errand doctor. I didn't mind. That was their way of trusting me.
Dr. Emily, you're closer to me than my own son.
Then think of me as your daughter. She cried. That was the first time she cried in front of me. I held her hand and said nothing. Some things don't need to be spoken. That night, I wrote a line in my journal. Today, I gained 3 more daughters. Then I crossed it out. Rewrote it. Today, I gained 3 more patients. Crossed that out too. In the end, I wrote nothing at all. Just closed the notebook.
My patient roster just kept growing, from a few dozen to a few hundred. The clinic couldn't keep up, so I brought on more help. Besides Jenny, another young doctor joined us, Paul.
The money's terrible and the work never ends.
We're not scared of that.
They started making house calls with me, sitting with elderly patients, handling emergencies together.
Who's this? My student. She's lovely looking.
Paul's first time giving an injection on a home visit. His hands were shaking like crazy.
Take it easy, young man.
He took a deep breath and stuck the needle in.
Didn't hurt.
Emily, what you're doing, this is real medicine. It's not medicine. It's companionship.
They didn't get it. They would.
That night, the 3 of us sat in the clinic eating takeout.
Emily, what's your biggest wish?
To live to 80 and still be making house calls.
Then I'll be your driver.
And I'll cook for you both.
We laughed. That was the hardest I'd laughed since leaving the big hospital.
By now, Jenny and Paul could handle home visits on their own. They were faster than me, more efficient.
Emily Smencherau.
But the patients still preferred me, not because my skills were better, just because they'd known me longer.
Dr. Emily, when are you going to retire?
I'm not, because there are still people who need me. Emily, you should take a break. No, because there are still people who need me. I stepped back from the front lines, but my phone stayed on. Then be our consultant. Okay. Patients still called, asking what medication to take. Then be our consultant. Okay. I stepped back from the front lines, but my phone stayed on. Patients still called, asking what medication to take.
Dr. Emily, what medication should I take?
Ask Jenny.
She's not you.
She's better than me.
They didn't believe it, but they tried.
I held the phone, unable to speak. Then he hung up. I sat there for a long time, didn't move. Richard wrote to me from prison. First letter, Emily, you won. I didn't reply. Second, do you hate me? I wrote back, I don't. Third, I was wrong. No reply. Fourth, waiting for you to come visit. No reply. His letters got shorter and shorter, the handwriting more and more erratic. The last one had only one line. Can you forgive me? I held that letter and thought for a long time. Then I put it in the drawer with all the others. I didn't reply, because forgiveness isn't just a word. It takes time. It takes action. It takes the other person actually changing. I didn't know if he'd changed. Maybe he had, maybe he hadn't, but I didn't want to wait around to find out. My patients were still waiting for me.
Just relax. Everything is going to be fine. I'm just going to check your blood pressure.
I woke up and sat in the dark for a long time. Do dreams mean the opposite of reality? I don't know.
Middle-aged man came to see me. His name was Robert, 55, heavy-assed, a little winded just walking. I examined him. High blood pressure, elevated heart rate, abnormal EKG, early signs of a heart attack.
Robert, your symptoms are serious. You need to go to a major hospital now.
No, I can't afford that. Just give me something for the pain.
I'm calling an ambulance. This is non-negotiable.
He got a stent put in, survived.
You saved my husband.
It wasn't me. It was the ambulance.
She didn't get it, but I knew. If I hadn't been his family doctor, he wouldn't have come in time.
He would have thought it was just ingestion, waited until midnight, and died in his sleep. That's the point of being a family doctor. Not curing disease, preventing it. After Robert was discharged, he came by the clinic. He'd lost some weight, but his spirits were good.
Thank you, doctor, for everything.
Just take it easy, okay? Less smoking, more walking. I'll see you soon.
She didn't get it. She would. That night, I texted Robert, "How many steps today?" Robert, 3,000. Emily, shoot for 4,000 tomorrow. Nairner, he sent back a smiley face. I smiled.
I was named Family Doctor of the Year by the American Medical Association. Not because I'm special, because my story got noticed. A journalist interviewed me, wrote a long profile, published it in American Medical News. Narrator, I stood on the awards stage, the lights blindingly bright.
This award isn't for me. It's for my patients. They call me the errant doctor. I like that.
The audience clapped and laughed.
Did you go get an award?
Yes.
Does that mean you're a better doctor now?
No. I'm still just the errant doctor. Jenny hung a sign outside the clinic. Dr. Emily Foster, the errand doctor, Family Actor of the Year. I looked at the sign, a little embarrassed, but I didn't ask her to take it down because the patients had chosen it.
That night I sat alone in the clinic looking at that sign. Under the light, the letters were sharp and clear. I suddenly thought of Richard.
He had awards too, plenty of them. But behind those awards were lies. Mine was earned with an old woman's thank you, not the same. My clinic expanded. From 1 room to 3, I leased the empty storefront next door and knocked down the wall. Now we had an EKG machine, lab equipment, and ultrasound. Basic tests didn't require a trip to the big hospital anymore.
Emily, we're starting to look like a big hospital. No, big hospitals don't have heart.
The equipment was new, but the people were the same. Same patients, still calling me Dr. Emily.
Dr. Emily, you're getting better and better.
It's not me, it's the equipment.
Dr. Emily, you're the best doctor I've ever had.
Not the best, just the right one.
I bit into an apple. It was sweet, tasted like her.
What are you doing?
Planting an apple tree.
Can anything even grow back there?
Yes, as long as there's soil, things can grow.
The following spring, a little sprout actually came up.
Richard got out of prison. He didn't come looking for me, didn't reach out. He moved to another state, started over. His sister told me he'd opened a small clinic in Florida. Not infectious disease anymore, just general practice.
One day I got a letter. No signature, no return address. Inside was just a card. It said, "I'm sorry." The handwriting was familiar. His. On the back it said, "I know you can't forgive me. That's okay." I put the card in the drawer with all the other letters. I didn't reply because I didn't know what to say.
Do you still think about him?
No.
Then why don't you write back?
I won't. His story is over.
That night, I searched for Richard Clinic online. Florida, a small town. The name was Sunshine Family Medical. The website was simple. There was a photo of him on the homepage. He was thinner, older, but he was wearing a white coat and smiling. I closed the browser tab. My clinic got covered by the New York Times. The reporter was a young woman named Rachel. She sat across from me, note open, recorder's red light lowing. "Why did you leave the big hospital?" I didn't leave. They made me go. "Do you regret it?" I don't. Why not? Because the people here need me more. She interviewed the patients,
Interviewed Jenny. Interviewed the elderly folks in the neighborhood. Dr. Emily, your story really moved me.
It's not a story. It's just life.
After the article came out, donations poured in. People came seeking help. Others came to learn. We couldn't keep up, but we were happy. We're famous. Not famous, just seen.
That night, I was sorting through the donor list in the clinic. One name made me pause. Richard. Donation of $500. Address in Florida. I stared at that name for a long time. Then I deleted it from the list. Not out of hatred, because he didn't belong here.
The donations kept coming. We set up a fund, the Aaron Doctor Fund, to help the poor who couldn't afford medical care. The first person we helped was an old woman named Maria. She needed heart surgery but couldn't afford the out-of-pocket costs. We covered it for her. The surgery was a success. She survived.
Dr. Emily, you're my angel.
Not an angel, just a doctor. I've been going over the clinic's financials. I think we can make this work. Really? You know who else is on the donor list? Richard. That donation, I saw the record. You rejected it, but I saw. I was quiet for a moment. He wasn't donating. He was buying peace of minds. Jenny didn't say anything more.
A young patient came to see me. His name was Michael, 32 years old, HIV positive. He didn't dare tell his family, carried it all alone. He came to me because he trusted me.
Dr. Emily, how long do I have?
I promise you, Michael, whatever you tell me, everything you say here stays between us.
I'm just so scared. I don't know what to do.
Scared of what?
Of people finding out.
You don't need to tell anyone else. You just need to tell me.
He cried. I held his hand and said nothing. He was under my care for 3 years. The virus stayed well controlled. He got his life back to normal. He got married later, had a kid. He came to see me with his wife and child and said, Dr. Emily, thank you.
No need to thank me. That smile, it didn't belong to the same man who walked into my clinic crying all those years ago. But I knew it was the same man. He gave him a second chance at life. No. He gave it to himself. I just walked with him.
An old woman passed away at the clinic. Her name was Eileen, 87 years old. Heart condition. The day she left us, I was at her place doing a routine checkup.
I performed PUR on her. 20 minutes. It didn't work. By the time her daughter arrived, she was gone.
Before Mom passed, she said you were her best friend.
I cried. That was the first time she called me her friend.
Thank you, Doctor.
You don't need to thank me. She hugged me. Her embrace was tight, like holding on to a mother.
I stood before Eileen's headstone for a long time. Carved on it were her name, the dates, and one line: she loved to laugh. That was true. She did love to laugh.
That night, I went home and took Eileen's sign-up card out of my drawer. The card was old now, the corners curling up. It had her cell phone number on it. I dialed it. The number was disconnected. I put the card back and closed the drawer.
A young doctor came to intern at the clinic. Her name was Leah. She'd heard me speak back in med school and decided to become a family doctor.
Dr. Emily, was it like this for you back then?
Pretty much. Do you have any regrets? No. She nodded. She trained for a year and was ready to go out on her own. She opened a clinic in another neighborhood.
Emily, thank you.
No need to thank me. You'll help others too.
She nodded. When she left, I gave her a notebook.
On the first page, I'd written, "A doctor doesn't treat diseases. A doctor treats people." She took it.
Emily, will you come visit me? Promise?
I will. When I'm too old to get around, I'll come be your patient.
She smiled.
I turned 55, still at the clinic, still making house calls, still answering my phone. My hair's gone white, my hands tremble a little, but my eyes are still bright. My patients have gotten old too. Some have passed, some are still here.
Emily.
They call me Dr. Emily. Some just call me Emily. I like Emily. That's what friends call you. You should retire. No. Why not? Because there are still people who need me. She smiled. Then be our consultant. Okay. I stepped back from the front lines, but my phone stayed on. Patients still called, asking what meds to take.
What meds should I take?
Ask Jenny.
She's not you.
She's better than me.
Emily, you know what? My daughter bought me a smartphone, but I only know how to make calls, and I only want to call you.
Then call me. She smiled. Narrator, Richard died. His sister called me and said he wanted to see you.
Sister.
The hospital.
Where is he?
I went. He was already gone.
Emily, I don't know if you'll ever read this. I owe you an apology. Not the kind people just say, the kind you mean with your whole heart. You won. I lost. Completely.
These past few months have tested me in ways I never imagined. But standing here for a moment, the world feels quiet, and I feel hopeful.
How are you feeling today, Emily? I'm fine, Jenny. Just taking it one day at a time.
Emily, I hope this letter finds you well. The days here are long, but I think of you every night. I don't have much time. Please don't forget me. I'm so sorry. I love you. Forever yours, Richard. It's time for the next chapter. After years of running, I'm finally putting my feet up. I put Richard's letters away in the drawer, alongside the other evidence. I didn't want to read them, but I wouldn't throw them away either. They sat there like a scar. Didn't hurt anymore, but it was still there.
Dr. Emily, why don't you go back to the big hospital?
Because there are people here waiting for me. She nodded. She didn't get it, but she believed me.
Dr. Emily, have you forgotten me?
No. He was one of my first sign-ups. 10 years ago, I made house calls to him. He'd had a stroke, bedridden. I helped him through rehab, taught him to walk and speak again.
Thank you.
No need to thank me. He cried. I didn't. I'd gotten used to being thanked by now, but every time, it still moved me.
Who was that?
An old friend.
He looks good.
Because he got better. Jenny was doing really well, younger than me, better with technology, better with management, but she lacked one thing I had. Time. She'd only been here a few years. The patients didn't fully trust her yet. Time will give you that. I stood at the clinic entrance, watching the patients come and go. Some knew me, some didn't.
Who are you?
Just a passerby. They laughed.
Dr. Emily, aren't you seeing patients anymore?
I still do, just fewer.
Then what do you do?
I sit. Sitting is good. Sitting doesn't wear you out.
I sat in a chair at the clinic, watching Jenny work. She was more patient than I'd been at her age. Gentler. The patients liked her. That put my heart at ease.
Who's that old lady?
She's our founder.
Oh.
Her name is Emily. If you ever want to hear a story, go talk to her.
The patient never came. I didn't mind.
My story got put into a textbook, not because I'm anything special, because it was a good case study. A textbook called Community Medicine in Practice used my family doctor sign-up program as a case example. A professor wrote to me, saying, "Your approach is a model for community medicine."
Don't ever lose that. The world needs more healers who care, not just cure. Keep going. I'm right here with you.
Emily, you're famous.
Not famous, just written down.
She smiled.
You look so young here.
That was 10 years ago.
What about now?
Now I'm old.
You're not old.
I smiled. That night, I flipped to that page and read the chapter about me. The writing was objective, the data accurate, but it was missing one thing: the sound of Eileen's laugh.
You couldn't write that in. No way to.
The seniors at the community center organized an event. They called it Errand Doctor Appreciation Day. They cooked the food place themselves, invited me themselves. That day I walked into the hall and saw the banner. Below it were photos, clinic, photos with patients, me under the apple tree.
Dr. Emily saved my mother. She saved our whole family.
She cried. A lot of people in the audience cried too. I stood below the stage, didn't go up, because I didn't know what to say.
Go on up.
I walked onto the stage and looked at all those faces. Some I knew, some I didn't, but they were all looking at me.
Community is the most powerful medicine we have.
Dr. Emily,
That
you're our
night,
treasure.
I wrote in my journal.
Not a treasure.
Today I
Just a
received the
weed.
best gift.
She laughed.
Not gratitude being needed.
A student wrote to me, saying, "Your speech made me decide to become a family doctor." I wrote back, "Then come intern with me." She came to my old clinic, learning under Jenny. Her name was Leah, 22 years old, tall, loved to laugh.
Emily, was it like this for you back then?
Pretty much. She trained for a year and was ready to go out on her own. She opened a clinic in another neighborhood.
Emily, thank you.
No need to thank me. You'll help others too. She nodded. When she left, I gave her a notebook. On the first page I'd written, "A doctor doesn't treat diseases. A doctor treats people." She took it.
After she left, Jenny said,
How many of those have you given out now?
I've lost count.
You should print more.
No need. I'll give them out until they're gone. I'm 75 now. Can't walk anymore. I spend my days in a wheelchair. Every afternoon, my caregiver wheels me to the community center. I sit there and listen to the elder.
Dr. Emily, do you still remember me?
They smile. That's their happiest moment, knowing someone remembers them.
How are you feeling today, dear?
A bit tired, but it's good to see you.
We'll take good care of you.
Thank you, that means a lot.
She cried. That was the first time she cried in front of me. I held her hand and said nothing. Some things don't need to be spoken. That night, my caregiver wheeled me back to my room. Passing the apple tree, I asked her to stop. Under the moonlight, the apple tree's shadow stretched across the ground like a painting. The real light was here, in these old people's smiles, in the shadow of this apple tree. Not bright enough, but warm enough.
The apple tree grew tall, taller than me now. It bore so much fruit. Every autumn, Jenny would pick the apples and hand them out to the elderly folks in the community.
These are Dr. Emily's apples.
I'd hear that and smile. That tree I'd planted in a whim back then. Never thought it would actually survive, let alone bear fruit. Just like my career. Emily, your tree is taller than you now.
Of course it is. The tree's younger than me.
She laughed.
One day, a little boy climbed the tree to pick apples, fell, and scraped his knee. Narrator, I cleaned the cut and put a bandage on it.
Not the best, just the oldest.
Laughed. He laughed.
Before Dad left us, he said Dr. Emily was the only one who remembered him.
I remember you too. She cried. That was the first time she'd heard me say I remembered her. She grew up and became a volunteer, helping out at the community center. She eventually became the director.
Emily, you used to push your patients like this too.
Yes,
Did it tire you out?
No.
She smiled. Emily, do you have any regrets? A whole life spent helping others, and you ended up alone?
Does it have a partner? It stands there all alone. But everyone comes to sit in its shade.
Here, it's not just a clinic, it's a home.
Like what you see? It's perfect.
This is where it all began. A dream to heal, to hope, to make a difference. I turned my head and saw a little girl waiting for me, Sophie. She was maybe 7 or 8, ponytail, pink dress.
Dr. Emily, my daughter says she wants to be a doctor when she grows up.
Grandma, you're the bravest person I know.
Thank you, sweetie. So are you.
The errant running doctor.
Emily, do you want to take it down and bring it home?
No, it belongs here.
Late one night, my phone woke me up.
Dr. Emily, I can't breathe.
It was an old patient.
Call 911.
They're too slow.
I'm coming right now.
I called an ambulance and rushed to her place. She was having an asthma attack. I gave her an inhaler, and she recovered.
Thank you.
No need to thank me.
Will you still come? Yes.
She smiled. That was my last house call. Not because I couldn't anymore, because she didn't need me to. She moved into a nursing home later. They had doctors there. I saw her off. We'll meet again, old friend. Take care of yourself.
Today I'm sitting on a bench at the community center, looking at the tree outside the window. The sun is lovely. The wind blows and the leaves rustle.
Jenny came by. She brought her students.
Dr. Emily, can we take a photo with you?
Okay.
They stood behind me, smiling. I smiled, looking at the camera. That was their first photo with me, and their last, because I know my time is near. Not sick, just old. When you're old, you go. Everyone does.
After the photo, Jenny had it printed and framed and gave it to me. I put it by my bedside. Every night before sleep, I look at it. In the photo, I'm smiling like an old woman. But that old woman, that's me.